Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm screenwriter Ali Spielberg, and I want to thank each and every one of you for joining the reading of this Manifesto of a Divine Soldier. Ladies and gentlemen, the research for these books and poems was done mainly by talking to people during everyday life for more than 30 years. This research demonstrates each person is a divine soldier. And God is recognized by all people, even people who do not believe in God, recognize God. This research demonstrates there is total recognition of God in our lifetime, and that is why the audience is ready for this show. Ladies and gentlemen, this research establishes there is total recognition of God at this point in human history, and the audience is ready. And it is my God-given duty to write this screenplay about a TV show where God explains certain divine secrets. And in the script during the show, God will tell the audience why God wrote the book of life. And God will praise humanity for sharing the pain of God. And God will ask the audience to close your eyes, and God will show us the end of hell. And God will have compassion for the audience. And God will say to the people, all your pain is the pain of God. And at the end of the show, each person will know why God wrote your story. In the script, you will see God explain God's reasons. On this show, God will plead all human history is a reflection of God. Those are powerful revelations that will have a profound impact on the audience. And in the script, the testimony of God you will see on this show changes the audience. The audience is changed forever by the story of God that has never been told before. But it didn't just happen in the script. It happened to me. My personal relationship with God intensified during this production. This show has a divine mission to be the show featuring God's unprecedented confession to humanity. Right here on this show, God will make peace with all humanity. And God will claim all light and darkness. And God will tell the audience the devil is under God's power. And God, all the pain humanity has suffered is a reflection of the pain of God. And at that very personal moment, each person in the audience will know God wrote your story to share the life of God. And the life of God and the pain of God is no longer inconceivable because of this production. And the historical timing is perfect. Today there is total recognition of God, and the audience is ready. And we are sensitive to the fact that the pain of God will shock the audience at first. At first, the audience will be shocked by the struggle of God. Then they will realize we have all felt the feelings of God. And at that miraculous moment, The audience will be in total sympathy with God, and God will pour out the feelings of God. And God will claim all light and darkness. And God will tell each person in the audience, your life is the reason God will never be alone again. All the pain you have suffered has made you closer to God, whether you realize it or not. And the conflict between good and evil that rages on the battlefield within each person, it is all a reflection of the struggle of God. In the script, God will tell the audience the entire human drama, the story of each person. It is all a reflection of the pain of God. Ladies and gentlemen, this type of divine direction is not entirely safe. Religious persecution is a form of darkness God sent against humanity to make you closer to God, to share the pain of God. Ladies and gentlemen, this show will defy all religious persecution. And during this show, you will see God say, all people have eternal life. The spiritual life force of God that is in each person lives forever, notwithstanding the light, notwithstanding the darkness. All people have eternal life. All people are equal. Human equality is a major theme of this production, even though it is dangerous. Human equality is dangerous because it is an irresistible challenge to discriminatory religious and political beliefs, those doctrines that look down on someone for some reason. This show will be a tremendous test for those prejudices. And we do expect that during the show, all those skeptics of human equality will ask questions like, how are the rapist and the victim equal? How are the murderer and the victim equal? In the script, God will explain crime is a form of darkness God sent against humanity to make you closer to God, to share the pain of God. The crime victim will always be closer to God. The perpetrator will always be a form of darkness. Even so, all people have eternal life. All people are equal. Those statements by God will take the audience to the edge of their understanding. God is love, ladies and gentlemen. Even so, God will speak to our cameras in the holy mural, and God will say to each person in the audience, you are a reflection of God. You have a responsibility to resist the darkness God sent against you the same way God resists the darkness in God. Ladies and gentlemen, during this special television event, God will make it clear all light and darkness exists to serve God. I dedicate this production to my friends who are writers. Whenever I think of you, I think about God. Whenever I view those movies in my mind of our discussions and debates, I think about God. And I think about how this production is a gift from God. And so in a way, this dedication is a celebration of eternal love. No one has reached for God more than you, my fellow writers. No one loves God more than you. You are a symbol of God. I will always be thankful we shared a dream. And the dream we dream is the most common dream, to be rich and happy. For me personally, as a writer and a producer, I too dreamed about million sellers and all the trappings of worldly success. And I still do have that dream. This divine mission that was thrust upon me to write this screenplay at the command of God, it may not necessarily prevent my dream, and the writer's dream might still come true. In any event, the total destruction of the devil's power is a hell of a legacy for a writer. And I do feel blessed to be the writer used by God to bring the world this revolution, this production to transform the world's relationship with God. God has commanded this show will go on. Even if I am defeated, even if the writer's dream never comes true, the screenplay in the holy mural is serving its purpose. Its divine mission is being carried out. Ladies and gentlemen, at this stage of the production, there is no way to stop the biggest show in television history. Ladies and gentlemen, the totality of God is not too heavy. You can handle it. You are a reflection of God. You can relate to the struggle of God. Each one of us has felt the feelings of God. We can all understand God's reasons for writing the book of life. In the script, this unified understanding of God is how the show will end. And in the very last scene, God will say to each person in the audience, God will now read to you the continuing chapters of the story of your eternal life. Thank you.